right now joined by my very special guest. He goes by the name of Sherjan Ahmad. How's it going, bro?
Doing good, Candyman. Nice to meet you. It's good to see you.
Likewise.
Yeah, we're across the ocean, I think, but it's good to see you virtually.
Most definitely. For those not aware, what part of the world are you in right now?
I'm in New York right now.
Okay.
It's, New York City.
Now, your dad, we have to talk about your dad himself, the legend, Sherjan Ahmad. What was it like growing up, getting into music and having someone who's doing, huge things? Do you feel like you have a lot of expectation to live up to?
That's a great question, because I remember when I was in Pakistan growing up, obviously at that age, like I joke with everyone, the first concert I ever saw was Junoon. And and I remember I was probably a kid.
Let me stop you there. When you was a kid, what was your favorite Junoon tune?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one. I think it was Sai.
Okay.
Either Saeed or Sayyid, because those were the two big hits at the time. And so I remember Pakistan growing up, it was a bit tough too, because a lot of people wanted to just befriend you because they wanted tickets to the show. so you never knew who was a real friend. but in terms of music, nothing really came to me until the age of 13. That's when I picked up the guitar seriously, and I think definitely the music in the house and my father's music inspired me a lot, and I think it still comes out in my own music too, not realizing. But I think that's when the music journey began. But his music is definitely a big inspiration.
That is one side of the story. Having a father who's so legendary, has done great things, and you got to live up to that expectation. But there's a whole nother side. When it comes to Pakistani entertainment, it's a topic we're hearing about more and more, week in, week out. The whole, coming from a family, that's got people already in the industry that established nepotism. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Have you faced any of that? Do you face much criticism on that end?
So that's another great question, because, from our part of the world, that's something people target, if they see someone from a family that's, if their father's successful, it's very likely that the kid or the daughter will be put into that industry, and then people critique, that you got in there because of your father and his name. But, the great thing about my father is he's not about that. Like, he's very into meritocracy, like he wants you to build yourself first and prove to him if you have it in you to do something. So I remember for the longest time, he never put me on stage. I remember because even though I had learned a lot of the chords and the songs by myself, I would learn them by myself. And I remember he would see that and he'd be impressed, but he wouldn't still put me on stage because he wanted to see if I really, love this or not, or if I'm just doing it for the sake of it. So he never put me on that pedestal, but I've been thankful that I've got to perform with him and, gotten all that experience. But I think it's definitely earned rather than handed, and obviously since I'm his son, there will be more of that, comparison thing in there. But I'm not worried about that because I'm content with my own music.
You've got the right mentality. I can see it. You're focused. Now, Coke Studios. Let's talk about Coke Studios. Big milestone, huge thing. Quite a collaboration as well, man. Tell us how that was for you.
That was back in 2017, Coke Studio. And I remember that was also another one of those things where I had to prove myself a lot, because all the musicians...
Sounds like Karate Kid.
Yeah. I had to get my, Mamba attitude, Kobe. Because all the musicians there are so good, so talented. They got their stuff down. And I remember I came in, initially there were some reservations from the producers, because they were like, we already have a good amount of guitar players. Why do we, need to include another? But my father was like, he knows all the songs. He knows all the Junoon songs, like, you know, like that. And because I'd been practicing these songs for like years and I knew them. So I actually, for the first few weeks, was in rehearsals with at the Coke Studio, you know, rehearsals, and they saw me play. And I think that's when they approved that I could be part of the, you know, the Sayuni that we did with Ustad Rahat Fateh Ali Khan, Ali Noor. And then we did Khoon Tana with Momina Mustahsin and Irtiash. So that was a amazing experience because I got to play with some, you know, awesome musicians. And that's the real challenge, like trying to get better when you play with better musicians. So that was a amazing experience for me.
Does New York feel like home, or would you say Pakistan still feels like home to you?
I always say I'm from New York, Karachi. It's like I can't choose both because they're both such close parts of me.
Now, let's talk about your body of work, your album. How long was the whole process of completing it? And you know, I think it's fair to say you're still a new artist, independently, and doing everything independently, of course. Was it hard?
Yes, definitely. So this album was inspired or motivated during when the COVID pandemic happened. You know, when we were all in lockdown. So at that time, you know, you couldn't do anything, you couldn't go out. And there's so much uncertainty, so much fear in the media and, you know, in the world. So I felt I needed to do something to just escape from that mental state of mind. And I had
I did? You know what I did? I played a lot of Call of Duty. That's why
I should have done that.
No, but you definitely did something a bit more productive. I was just gaining weight, eating, and playing Call of Duty. It's dope, man.
I gotta try that next time if something like that happens, though.
Well, hopefully not. God willing, never again.
Fingers crossed.
No, it's good stuff. What are we looking out for in the near future from you, bro?
Yeah, so this album I just put out is called Title John. It just came out October 9th. You can find it on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, any, you know, streaming platforms. You can check it out. And these songs, like I said, I recorded them to that span of 2019 to 2021, the COVID time. And these songs, I think, capture that moment and space and time I was in. And I think it's a great sort of like a thing to look back on, you know? So this album documents that feeling, and I hope people enjoy it too. And I just released a brand new single from the album called Kya Hua, which is, you can check out on my YouTube channel as well.
मन चाहे मैं हूँ तेरे पास फिर भी तू है बेवफा कोई नहीं ये जाने कोई नहीं ये चाहे कि तू मेरा है मेरे यार क्या हुआ मेरे यार क्या हुआ
Can I be a bit cheeky? Can I ask you to play us something and just give us something live right now?
सैयो नी सैयो नी छोड़ मेरी खता छोड़ मेरी खता छोड़ मेरी खता तू तो पागल है चैन एक पल चैन एक पल चैन एक पल नहीं और कोई सैयो नी सैयो नी